Shooting guard, 64 inches, number 23, and guard, 6'8", number 2,
It is do or die for both teams here at Little Caesars Arena. It's the 2025-2026 season playthrough, the play-in tournament, the final game, the last chance game for both the Toronto Raptors and the Detroit Pistons. As we look at the starting lineups, we got Barnes, Dick, Ingram, DeRozan, and Poeltl, while we have for the Pistons Cunningham, Ivey, Asar, Thompson, Harris, and Duren. The Raptors got here the other day with a 109-82 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 10 versus 9 game. I see the Raptors will win the tip in here as Brandon Ingram. That shot is no good. Asar Thompson grabbing a rebound. Well, the Detroit Pistons yesterday in that first game lost 117-106 to the Miami Heat, where Miami, as DeRozan will get the first 2 points of the game for the Raptors. Well, as Miami got the 7th seed. So the winner of this game will move on to the 8th seed and take on the New York Knicks, while the loser will have the long offseason to think about what went wrong. Cunningham blocked by Jakob Poeltl. See DeRozan over the Barnes. Barnes for 3, no good. And for the Detroit Pistons, let's say Toronto Raptors, they did not win a single game of the regular season on a watched game. They were 0-4. They get their first watched game yesterday afternoon, and their win against the Cavaliers is Ingram with the slam dunk. It's 4-0 Raptors. Baseball pass over to Durham, back to Ivey. Cade Cunningham holding on to it, taking his time for a second. Cunningham's going to come around with the layup. That's in there, and the Pistons are on the board. Cade Cunningham at 29 points and 5 assists in the loss to Miami in that 7 versus 8 game. I'm sure the Knicks are getting to work right now scouting this game. DeRozan for 3, no good. Cunningham grabbing a rebound. And for the Raptors, as I said, they limped into this play-in tournament. Plenty of chances also for the Washington Wizards to come in. As you see, there's the bucket there. We're tied at 4 by Jaden Ivey with the bucket. Plenty of chances for the Wizards to actually try to make a comeback and overtake them for the 10 seed, but the Raptors, as I said, backed themselves in. And they ended up getting a win big time against the Cavaliers the other night. Thompson for 3. No good. Grady Dick with the rebound. As I said, this is do or die for both teams. Last game of the play-in tournament. You see DeRozan. That's no good. The field is already set in the Western Conference. You can go back and watch that game. There will be a spoiler alert, though, actually, if Ivey for 3, no good. Later on, so just to let you know, you will find out who won that game. If you don't, then just go back. This is in order, the whole playlist. As earlier, we had the Western Conference last chance game here, as DeRozan with another bucket. He has 4 in this game. Raptors up 6-4 right now here, just about 3.5 minutes into the game. Ivey over to Thompson. Thompson with the layup. That's in there. We are tied at 6. Got Brandon Ingram coming through. Eight on the shot clock. Ingram, and he's going to go to the line shooting 2 as Asar Thompson called for his first foul. That's the first team foul against the Pistons. Got Brandon Ingram going to the line for 2. Coming up on Wednesday, we will start the first game of the NBA playoffs. That is still to be determined. Ingram will shoot the three there. If you look at my... Just go on my community tab for the schedule for the upcoming playoffs. I'll let you know exactly. There's going to be 2 games for each day in the first round. As I said, I'm trying to fast track these games. It's not going to be easy. The first round of the playoffs is going to be my longest of the... Because you have a minimum of 28 if all 8 series end in a sweep, and a maximum of 56 games total if all 8 go to the distance. See Cade Cunningham coming around. Cunningham and the Pistons are in the lead for the first time in this game. I said Cade Cunningham had 29 points in that game against the Heat in a loss. He's averaging 28.3 points a game, so he was right at his average, a little above his average actually. As DeRozan for 3. No, he passed that up as Pirtle will get the bucket in there, and the Raptors are on top by 1. DeRozan with the assist this time. I thought he was going to take the 3, but he passed it up, and it worked out really good. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. As Jaden Ivey is going to come around with the layup, and the Pistons are on top again. 3 games versus the Raptors this season. Jaden Ivey averaged 20.5 points a game and averaged 47% shooting. And by the way, this game, by the time this game comes out, it might be the end of the All-Star Weekend festivities down in LA in real life, as you see Pirtle with a layup and the Raptors on top again. Baseball pass to Duren, and Jalen Duren with the slam dunk. We look at the field goals, total shooting, 5 of 10 for the Raptors, 6 of 11 for the Pistons. Grady Dick dish it over to DeRozan. DeRozan for 3, no good, but Scotty Barnes gets the offensive rebound. DeRozan has it again, 10 on the shot clock. 7 on the shot clock. DeRozan coming around, layup, that's in there. DeMar DeRozan. We've had 6 points in this game, and the Raptors on top by 1 again as we are over halfway through the first quarter. 13-12, the Raptors on top here at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. This is the last chance playing game here, and there's a slam dunk. And the Pistons are on top again by 1. Barnes over to DeRozan. DeRozan coming around. That's in there. DeMar DeRozan. Raptors on top by 1. And we are going to take a timeout here. 5:22 left to play in the first. Raptors leading at 15-14. Let's look at the lineup set coming out of the timeout here. Mogbo coming in for Pirtle. And that might be the only substitution that we see right now. Thompson will inbound into Jaden Ivey. Over to Jalen Duren right there. You're having shielding Grady Dick for a second. Duren's going to take the pass from Ivey. And Jalen Duren with the slam dunk. And once again, the Pistons are on top by 1. Last couple of minutes, we have had back and forth lead changes. This is actually how it was in the early part of the game against the, for a while with the Cavaliers and the Raptors. And then the Cavaliers had a little bit of a lead as DeMar DeRozan with the bucket. He has 10 points already, all 10 of them in the paint. Thompson over to Cunningham. Back over to Jaden Ivey. Ivey for 3. That's in there, and the Pistons are on top by 2. As I said, we had a back and forth game for a while, and then, of course, in that first quarter, and then of course there was a 10-0 run to start the second quarter for the Raptors. They never looked back in that game. To start the second quarter for the Raptors, they never looked back as Harris coming around over to Thompson. Dishing it back to Ivey. Ivey for 3. That's in there. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Jaden Ivey, and the Pistons are on top by 5. Grady Dick. Dishing it back over to Mogbo. To Barnes. Dick for 3. That's in there. Grady Dick bringing the Raptors within 2. Got a couple of players at the scorer's bench for the Raptors waiting to come into the game. Nobody yet for the Pistons. It's Jalen Duren with the slam dunk. And the Pistons up by 4. And there, Mogbo with the slam dunk. You see the Raptors 10 of 17 compared to the Pistons 11 of 16. Over to Jaden Ivey. Dishing it back over to Jalen Duren here. 10 on the shot clock. Back to Cunningham. 7 on the shot clock to Ivey. Ivey for 3. No good. Scotty Barnes with it. No, Harrison Barnes is with the Spurs. Coming around to DeRozan. DeRozan with the layup. He has 12 points in this game, and we are knotted at 24. We're approaching the final 2.5 to play in the first. Timeout, Detroit. 2:28 left in the first. We are tied at 24. We're going to take a timeout. So let's look at it now. We look at this lineup set for both teams here. We have Walter, Lawson, Agbahi, Murray Boyles. And then we look at the Pistons here. Cunningham, Ivey, Robinson, Stewart, and Jalen Duren still in the lineup. So Duncan Robinson's going to check into the game, as well as Isaiah Stewart for the Pistons. I see Jalen Duren taking the inbound there. Back over to Isaiah Stewart now. 13 on the shot clock. Stewart for 3. He got it! It's a 3-point lead for the Pistons. Led by as many as 5. You see Walter with it. You should back over to Jonathan Mogbo. Over to Agbahi. And he loses it as Duncan Robinson with the steal here. Under 2 minutes of play in the first. In this last chance playing game, the Pistons leading it 27-24 right now. I said the winner will get the 8th seed and take on the New York Knicks. The loser will have a great offseason, get to see their families, go to Cancun, go to the golf course, whatever they want to do. But neither of these teams want to do that just yet. Ivey for 3. Jaden Ivey will miss that as Agbahi will get the rebound. Over to Walter. Walter back to Agbahi. Back over to Lawson. To Murray Boyles. Murray Boyles in there! Colin Murray Boyles. 27-26. Ivey coming around. That's in there. Jaden Ivey. It's a 3-point lead. Agbahi will inbound it to Walter as he's crossing the half-court line here. 20 on the shot clock. About 40 to play in the first. 3-point lead for the Pistons. And then to Murray Boyles. 5 on the shot clock. Murray Boyles dishing it over to Lawson. Lawson back to Murray Boyles for 3. As the shot clock expired. No good. Shot clock turned off. Jaden Ivey over to Cunningham. 14 on the shot clock. He's just going to hold on to it for the final shot. We look at a slew of Pistons waiting to come into the game. Cunningham, jumper. No good. Murray Boyles with the rebound, and that will do it. We are at the end of the first quarter. The Detroit Pistons leading the Raptors 29-26 in this last chance playing game in the Eastern Conference. We'll be back to start the second quarter shortly. You're watching Vita Productions. Starting the second quarter here, we have Marcus Saucer into the game, checks into the game, as well as Isaiah Stewart still out on the court. So yeah, Saucer, Stewart. Over to Holland. Back to Stewart. Saucer, Stewart, Holland, and I believe Duncan Robinson is into the game. There's a shot up. No good. Reed will get the rebound, and Robinson, so that's the lineup set. No good for either team as Brendan Ingram with the rebound. Agbahi has it. Back over to Lawson. Lawson coming around. Back over to Agbahi. Agbaji over to Lawson. Lawson for three. No good. Stewart will grab the rebound. As Marcus Soster has it. He has that hurt designation. Should be out, but you know 2K does override the players who are not out. Robinson coming around. Jumper. That's in there. It's a 5-point lead for the Pistons, matching their largest lead of the game. The Raptors had the lead by as many as 4. See Ingram coming around. 10 on the shot clock. Ingram. Shot is up. No good. Holland with the rebound. 0 points in the last 2.5 minutes for the Toronto Raptors. Well, remember, the Raptors had a little bit of a drought before they had that 10-0 run to start the second quarter, but then now that's Isaiah Stewart with the bucket, and the Pistons are on top by 7. Jonathan Mogbo back over to Agbaji. Agbaji with the layup. That's in there. And that will end that drought there. We're 2 minutes into the second quarter. 33-28 Pistons on top. This game coming to you from the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. I am Vinny from Vito Productions on the call. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As you see, Saucer will miss that one. The Stewart with the offensive rebound. Saucer has it again for three. No good. Mogbo with the rebound. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do drop. And if you want to support this channel financially, don't forget there is a link to the Cash App down below. It is not required to donate, but it would be appreciated though. But just hitting that subscribe button, the like button, and watching this content is support enough. As you see, Holland with it. 10 on the shot clock. Holland for three. No good. Agbaji with the rebound. And he's going to cross the half-court line with it. Dishing it back over to Ingram. Ingram to Agbaji. Agbaji for three. That's in there. It's now suddenly a 2-point game again. The Raptors hanging on a little bit early in this game. Saucer back over to Reed. Over to Stewart. Stewart will get the shot up. That's in there. And it's a 2-possession game again. 11 lead changes, 3 ties so far in this. As we have a timeout called here, 8:27 left to play in the second. 35-31, Pistons on top. We're going to take a timeout. Let's look at the lineup set coming out of the timeout here. As DeRozan's coming back into the game. That's the only set for the Raptors. And let's see here, Cunningham, Robinson, Thompson, Harris, and Stewart. 35-31, the Pistons on top here. 20 on the shot clock coming out from the inbound. DeRozan had 12 points in that first quarter. And there's a three by Ingram. No good. Harris with the rebound for the Pistons. Over to Cunningham. Cunningham layup. That's in there. Cade Cunningham putting the Pistons on top by 6. 4 minutes into the game. Mogbo with that, took that baseball pass and he gets a slam dunk. It's a 4-point lead again. Our Raptors within 4. Back over to Tobias Harris. Harris coming around. Harris dishing it over to Robinson. Back over to Stewart. And he's going to lose that one, and that's going to be a jump ball. Mogbo and Stewart with a jump ball. And College, that would be a possession arrow, and whoever did not inbound it to start the second quarter, as there's a bucket right there. 39-33. I think that was the Pistons that inbounded it, so that had the inbound to start the second quarter, so that would have been Raptors ball in College with the possession arrow. Mogbo, no good. As we see Thompson back over to Cunningham. Nine on the shot clock. And we got 4 on the shot clock here. Thompson with a jumper. No good. Walter. Over to DeRozan. That's in there. DeMar DeRozan. That's 14 points for him. Raptors within 4. I see Cunningham coming around. He'll take the jumper from the free throw line. That's no good. Brandon Ingram grabbing the rebound. He'll cross half court. Ingram back over to Mogbo, over to DeRozan. And that's an illegal screen called against Jonathan Mogbo. That's his first personal foul. But since it was on the offensive end, that's going to be no team foul. Let's look at the lineup set here. Lawson going to go to the bench. Barnes moving to... No, Walter moving the point guard. Barnes coming back into the game in for the Pistons. Jalen Duren coming back into the game. As we see Cunningham back to Harris, over to Robinson for three. No good. Ingram with the rebound. Over halfway through the second quarter. There's Mogbo. Mogbo with the slam dunk, and we have a timeout called by the Pistons. 5:54 to play in the second quarter. The Pistons leading at 39-37. We're going to take a timeout. Looking at the lineup set coming out of the timeout here. Barnes, and we got Dick, Ingram, DeRozan, and Pearl coming back into the game. And now for the lineup set for the Pistons. Jaden Ivey coming back into the game for Duncan Robinson. So I believe the starting five are now back on the court for both teams. Ivey for three. He nails it. Jaden Ivey putting the Pistons on top by 5. Scotty Barnes over to Jakob Poeltl. Over to DeRozan. Back over to Poeltl. Barnes coming around. There's a shot up. That's no good. Harris will get the rebound. We got Cade Cunningham. Dishing it back over to Tobias Harris. 14 on the shot clock over to Ivey. Ivey for three. And he got it. It's an 8-point lead for the Pistons. Barnes with it. 19 on the shot clock. Now we're down to the final 5 minutes of the first half. DeRozan passing it over to Poeltl. Dishing it over to Barnes. Barnes for three. No good. Jalen Duren grabbing the rebound. Cunningham with it, with the layup. That's in there. And the Pistons are on top by 10. That's 8 points for Cade Cunningham. 4:40 to play in the second. Over to Brandon Ingram. Ingram over to DeRozan. To Barnes. 14 on the shot clock. Dishing it over to DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan coming around with the layup. That's in there. That's 16 points for DeMar DeRozan. The Raptors are within 8. Over to Asar Thompson. Cade Cunningham, 15 on the shot clock. Dishing over to Jaden Ivey. 9 on the shot clock. Ivey, jumper. No good. Grady Dick with the rebound. Barnes coming around. Oh, he should have just taken the layup there, but Grady Dick, though, big shot. And it's 47-41 as you see the Raptors at 19 of 35 compared to the Pistons 21 of 39. Ivey coming around. Cunningham passes a dot about it for a second. We got 7 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. 3.5 to play until halftime. Ivey has to get that shot up. No good. Poeltl grabbing a rebound. Ingram. Over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes back to DeRozan. DeRozan. No good. Duren with the rebound over to Harris. And there is a 3-second violation called against the Pistons, and it's going to be Raptors ball. Another timeout called by the Raptors. 3:02 to play. The Pistons leading it by 6. We're going to take a timeout. Substitution out on the court coming out of the timeout here. Looking at the lineup set. Walter, Dick, DeRozan, Barnes, and Poeltl out on the court for the Pistons. Or no, for the Raptors, I should say. I couldn't really get a chance to see the scoreboard, or else I would have read what the lineup set was for the Pistons here. You see DeRozan. Team trailing by 6 here. DeRozan coming around. He's going to get the shot up. That is no good. Tobias Harris with the rebound. 2:45 to play until halftime. Cunningham with the jump shot. That is no good. Grady Dick with the rebound. DeRozan. 9 on the shot clock. DeMar DeRozan. Coming around 2 on the shot clock. DeRozan with the layup. DeMar DeRozan with 18 points in this game, and the Raptors are within 4. Pistons leading it by 4 with the final 2 minutes of the half here. Harris for 3. No good. Grady Dick grabbing a rebound there. Rebounds are all even at 20 right now. And there is a no good right there. I believe that was Barnes that tried to get the shot up. Harris over to Cunningham. Back over to Jalen Duren. Duren back to Ivy. Ivy with a shot up. No good. DeMar DeRozan grabbing the rebound for the Raptors. Over to Barnes. Barnes with a shot up. That's in there. Raptors are within 2. They are on an 8-0 run in the last 3 minutes and 12 seconds. 1:10 left to play until halftime. Ivy for 3. No good. Walter will get the rebound. Jaden Ivey with 18 points on 7 of 16 shooting. 4-10 from the beyond the arc. DeRozan coming around. 10 on the shot clock. 4 on the shot clock. And that's a 3. No, that's a foul called against Cunningham here. DeMar DeRozan's going to head to the line. DeRozan will hit the first one. That's a 9-0 run for the Pistons in the last nearly 3.5 minutes of play. And let's see here. He's about to get his second shot up. Hail Sigumbo. That's a 10-0 run for the Raptors, and we are tied at 47. As we see Cunningham within 15 on the shot clock, 35 to play until halftime. Jaden Ivey coming around. Ivey coming around. Still holding on to it. Jaden Ivey with the layup that's in there. It's 49-47, 21.4 to play in the second. DeMar DeRozan holding on to it. They can hold on for the last shot. DeRozan. In there. He's got to shoot it over to Barnes. Barnes for 3. No good. And that will do it. It was a 10-point lead for the Pistons, and then the Raptors came back to tie it before the Pistons got a late first half bucket. They're leading the Raptors 49-47 in this last chance play-in game. You're watching the play-in tournament on VDub Productions, and we are going to send it to halftime. We'll see you in the second half. We are back. This game ready to start the third quarter here. 49-47 Pistons leading it. As we look at Jaden Ivey, he has 20 points in that first half. Same with DeMar DeRozan. He's matching point by point. We looked at the Raptors, though, shooting 51%, and the Pistons at 49%. And also we looked at the other important statistical categories like the assists tied at 14, as well as the rebounds tied at 22, as we see Cunningham taking the inbound from Asar Thompson. As the starting lineups are out for both lineups that have the starting five out, so we don't have to read any names. As Thompson for three, that is no good. Scotty Barnes would get the rebound here. As I said, it was a 10-point lead at one point for the Detroit Pistons. Raptors came on a 10-0 run to actually tie the game before the Pistons with a late bucket to end the first half. That is the difference in this game to this point. Barnes, this is over to Grady Dick, back over to Scotty Barnes. 15 on the shot clock. Over to DeRozan. 8 on the shot clock. And the DeRozan with the bucket. That is no good. Durham with the rebound. Over to Ivey. Ivey coming around with the layup. That's in there. It's a 4-point Piston lead. Scotty Barnes. Over to Ingram. There's Ingram for three. No good. Cunningham with the rebound. As we have Cade Cunningham dishing it over to Thompson. Back over to Jaden Ivey. Ivey with a jumper. No good. Durham with the offensive rebound and a put-in. It's a 6-point lead for the Pistons. As we have 10-11 to play in the third. DeRozan for three. No good. Cunningham with the rebound. DeMar DeRozan with 20 points and 3 assists in that first half. That's all he's been stuck at right now. You see Cunningham with a deep two. No good. Grady Dick with the rebound. Gets it over to DeMar DeRozan. 9 on the shot clock. Over to Barnes. Barnes for three. That's in there. Scotty Barnes with a huge three-pointer. It's 53-50. Get it over to Jaden Ivey. Ivey over to Duren. Duren with the bucket. Jalen Duren with 12 points in this game. All 12 of them in the paint. He's back over to Brandon Ingram. Finding it over to Grady Dick. 3 minutes into the third quarter. Over to DeRozan. DeRozan with a shot. That's in there. DeMar DeRozan. That's 22 points for him in this game. Raptors within 3, and we have a timeout called by the Pistons. 8:46 to play in the third. 55-52 Pistons on top. We're going to take a timeout. And as we take a look, you see the stats in the bottom there. Assists for the play-in tournament as we look at that bottom ticker. 32, the Heat are averaging. The Raptors averaging 30 with 26.5 for the Warriors. And let's see here. Jaden Ivey will take the inbound here with 16 on the shot clock. Pistons leading it by 3. Over to Thompson, back to Cunningham. Cunningham, jumper, that's in there. It's a 5-point lead. We have 11 lead changes and 4 ties in this game as we're under 8.5 to play in the third quarter. Over to DeMar DeRozan, back to Scotty Barnes. The Grady Dick. DeRozan for 3. No good. Cunningham grabbing the rebound. Over to Harris. Harris, that's no good. DeMar DeRozan with the rebound. Gives it back over to Grady Dick to Brandon Ingram. Over to Barnes. Barnes over to Dick. Dick for 3. No good. Jalen Duren will grab the rebound. Thompson coming around. The layup, that is no good. Ingram. This is, again, the last chance playing game. The winner of this game becomes the 8th seed. The loser, as I said, books their tickets to Cancun, books the tee time at the golf course. You get where I'm going with that. DeRozan for three. No good. Tobias Harris with the rebound. As Thompson, we're three. No good. Durham with the offensive rebound. Back over to Cade Cunningham. Cunningham. Three on the shot clock. Cunningham. Jumper. Good. 7-point lead for the Pistons. Said they led by as many as 10. DeMar DeRozan coming around. 6:45 to play in the third. Over back to Jakob Poeltl. Now it's Brandon Ingram with it at the wing. Over to Barnes at the corner for three. No good. Poeltl with the offensive rebound, and he'll get the putback. The Raptors shooting 46%. The Pistons at 47%. The Pistons leading it by 5. I said this game coming to you from the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. I am Vinny from Vito Productions on the call. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. As we see 3 on the shot clock. Asar Thompson coming around. No good. Poeltl will grab the rebound. And if you want to support this channel financially, it is optional, by the way. Not required for you to enjoy my content, but if you feel inclined to support me financially, don't forget to, there's a link in the description down below to my Cash App. It says this channel does not have, as you see, DeMar DeRozan with the slam dunk. That's 24 for him. And the Raptors within 3. Don't forget, though, the NBA playoffs start on Wednesday. You'll have the schedule. Not the teams to be announced yet, because I don't know how the schedule is going into this game, but Jalen Durham with the slam dunk. And it's a 5-point lead again for the Pistons. But I'll let you know that there's going to be what times those games will be out, as the Raptors will call a timeout. 5:11 left to play in the third. 61-56 Raptors. We're going to take a timeout. Now let's look at our lineup set. We have Mogbo coming in for Poeltl for the Raptors, and for the Pistons coming out of the timeout, we have Ivy and Robinson. So Jaden Ivey's moving to the point guard while Duncan Robinson's coming back into the game for Cade Cunningham. Mogbo will inbound it over to Scotty Barnes. As I said, we got 5 minutes to play in the third. 5-point lead. Cut around DeRozan. He's going to go to the line, shooting 2. Tobias Harris called for his first personal foul, first team foul. As I said, the winner of this game will be playing the New York Knicks in the first round of the Eastern Conference Playoffs as the 8th seed. Loser, once again, will be booking their tee times or tickets to Cancun. As we look at the scoring breakdown for the Pistons, 37 points off of assists, 22 mid-range points here. There's the first one made. And let's see here who's coming in. Grady Dick's going to go to the bench for Walter. As we're starting to see the bench coming in now. DeRozan sinks them both. It's a 3-point Piston lead, under 5 to play in the third. Tobias Harris coming around. He's holding on to it now with 10 on the shot clock. Back to Jaden Ivey. Feeds it to Robinson. Now this is to Thompson. Back over to Ivey. Ivey for 3. He nails it. Jaden Ivey putting the Pistons up by 6. 4.5 to play in the third. $15 on the shot clock for Scotty Barnes right over there for DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan coming around. No good. Tobias Harris with the rebound. In there, Asar Thompson for 3, no good, but Jalen Durham will get the rebound, and he's going to go to the line as Mogbo called for his second personal foul. First team foul in the third quarter against the Raptors. Jalen Durham taking 2 shots here. Again, a guy who's very capable of getting 15 points and 20 rebounds a game. Came close to that in that, or he did actually exceed that actually in the first play-in game as he hits the first shot, putting the Pistons on top by 7. Largest lead for the Pistons in this game has been 10. And that was before the Raptors had a 10-0 run to briefly tie the game up before the end of the first half. Duren will hit the second one. It's an 8-point lead for the Pistons. I believe that's their largest lead since that 10-point lead. DeRozan holding on to it right now. 15 on the shot clock. Under 4 to play in the third. DeRozan for 3. That's off, in and out. Duren with the rebound. 20 on the shot clock. Give it over to Asar Thompson to Tobias Harris. Back to Asar Thompson. There's Jaden Ivey for 3. No good. DeRozan with the rebound. Over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes coming around. He's rejected, it looks like, as Harris will get the bucket. See Jalen Duren over to Robinson. Duncan Robinson for 3. No good. Walter grabbing the rebound. Walter over to DeRozan. DeRozan with the slam dunk. It's a 6-point game. That's 28 points for DeMar DeRozan in this game. Jaden Ivey. 8 on the shot clock. Ivey coming around. Layup, that's in there. Jaden Ivey putting the team up by 8 again. 27 points for him. 10 in the mid-range as we're approaching the final 2.5 to play in the third. Ingram for 3. No good. Duren with the rebound. As we see Thompson coming around. That's stolen by Brandon Ingram. Ingram over to DeRozan. DeRozan back over to Mogbo. Over to Ingram. To Barnes. Barnes for 3. No good, but Harris will get the rebound. Scotty Barnes only 5 points on 2 of 10 shooting. He's 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Scotty Barnes not having a good game not having a good time to have a bad game. DeRozan will get the rebound off the miss. See Scotty Barnes. There's a 3-pointer by Scotty Barnes. That's no good. Duren with the rebound. Under a minute and a half to play in the third. Over to Jaden Ivey. Ivey coming around. That is no good. Scotty Barnes with the rebound. Dishing over to Walter. Walter back to Barnes. Over to DeRozan. 14 on the shot clock. DeRozan shooting. No good. Thompson with the rebound. Raptors, let's look at the rebounds. 39-33 in favor of the Pistons. And there's a bucket right there. It's a 10-point lead for the Pistons. Ingram. They should have back over to Walter. Walter to DeRozan. DeRozan, shot is up. No good. Jalen Duren with the rebound as we got Jaden Ivey. Over to Thompson. To Jaden Ivey. 10 on the shot clock. Here to Let's Go Pistons here. There's a Jaden Ivey with, or no, that's no, that wasn't Jaden Ivey. That was, I believe that was Tobias Harris with the bucket there. 72-60. As we're down to the waning seconds of the third. DeRozan with a shot up. No good. Ivey with the rebound. That is Jaden Ivey as we have Asar Thompson coming around with a shot before the buzzer. No good. And that will do it. For the third quarter, the Pistons leading it 72-60. They are 12 minutes away from going to the Big Apple. How will the fourth quarter happen? Stay tuned to find out. Starting the fourth quarter here. No assist of the game, but we got Walter taking the inbound from Ingram, and Ingram's going to come around. You see Cunningham, Robinson, Reed, Holland, and Stewart out there to line up set, start the fourth quarter for the Pistons. Basel Ingram with the layup there, cutting it to 10 points again. Cunningham, that shot is up. That's in there. Agbaji, Walter, Ingram, I know is out on the court. I see Agbaji with it. Over to Mogbo. Mogbo! Agbaji, yeah, with the assist there. 10-point lead. And he's going to throw that out of bounds, and the Raptors will get the ball here. 11:03 to play in the fourth. As I said, Walter, Agbaji, Mogbo, Ingram, and one other player I have yet to get a chance to see. That's why I wish I had the lineup sets for both teams to start the quarter. Lawson, so that completes the lineup set. And Lawson will shoot the three right there. And the Raptors are within 7. Don't go away yet. In this last chance playing game, as I said, the winner goes to New York to start the series as Cunningham with the slam dunk, and he puts the Pistons up by 9. Winner of this game plays the Knicks in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs as the 8th seed. The loser, as I said, can book their tickets to Cancun, book tee times at the local golf course. As you see, Ingram, no good. Holland with the rebound. But you get where I'm going here. Look at the rebounds, 42-33 in favor of the Pistons. It's 20-11 so far in the second half. They were tied in rebounds at 22 going into the half. Then again, it was a 2-point game going into halftime. Mogbo dishing it back to Lawson to Ingram. Ingram for 3. That's going to fall in. And the Raptors are within 6. Duncan Robinson with the rock crossing the half-court line. Over to Cunningham. There's a shot up. That's no good. Mogbo grabbing the rebound. Agbaji with it. And she did back over to Brandon Ingram. Ingram coming around. Jump shot. That is in there. And the Raptors are within 4. They're shooting 31 of 69 compared to 34 of 73 for the Pistons. Pistons, let's go Pistons chance. Cunningham for 3, that's in there. That's a huge 3 as Cade Cunningham has 19 points, 7 of them here in this fourth quarter. Timeout Raptors. 8:48 to play in the fourth. It's 79-72 Pistons. We are going to take a timeout. Time to look at the lineup set coming out of the timeout here. DeRozan coming back into the game. And for the Pistons, let's see. It is Jalen Duren coming back in at center. So those are the only 2 players coming out on the court, 1 for each team. We got DeRozan, 28 points in 3 quarters. DeMar DeRozan over to Lawson. Lawson for 3, no good. Stewart grabbing the rebound as Cunningham now has it here. 8.5 to play in the fourth. It's 79-72. Layup is not gonna fall in. Walter has it over to Lawson. Lawson dishing it back over to Ingram. Brandon Ingram being guarded by Duncan Robinson. Ingram gets a shot up, no good. Robinson will get the defensive rebound there. There's Holland for 3, no good. Brandon Ingram with the defensive rebound. We got Lawson. Back to DeRozan here. As I said, 7:52 to play in the fourth. Over to DeRozan. 9 on the shot clock. DeMar DeRozan. He's going to go to the line for 2 as Holland called for his first personal foul, first team foul. 2 big free throws coming up for DeMar DeRozan. This game coming to you from the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. I am Vinny from Vito Productions. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. And also, if you want to support me financially, there is the Cash App link in the description down below. It is not required for you to donate to enjoy my content, as the first free throw is made. I believe that is Scotty Barnes, I think, coming back into the game now. And let's look at the Detroit, as you see Cunningham and Duren with Ivy, Thompson, and Harris. DeMar DeRozan sinks them both as the Raptors are within 5. It's kind of hard to believe the Pistons have not attempted a single free throw just yet in this game. They may, how the closest game will be, as Cade Cunningham. That shot is no good. Scotty Barnes with it. Chance for DeRozan to cut this, and for the Pistons to cut this lead deficit short. Closer, I should say. 10 on the shot clock. Over to Barnes. Barnes for 3. No good. Harris with an easy defensive rebound right there. Seven minutes to play in the fourth. 79-74. Duran for jump shot. No good. Mogbo grabbing the rebound. Over to Walter. Back over to Scotty Barnes. To DeRozan. DeRozan. Jump shot. That is no good. Tip, and that's going to go out of bounds off the Pistons. As we see the Grady Dick coming back into the game for Walter. And that is all the substitutions there. 14 on the shot clock. Barnes over to DeRozan. And that's going to go out of bounds. That's a violation. That's a Pistons ball right there. DeMar DeRozan did not need that careless turnover to go against him. 6:33 to play in the fourth. 79-74 Raptors. As I said, the winner of this game moves to play the New York Knicks as the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. The loser heads to the offseason as Asar Thompson with a slam dunk. That is worthy enough of the AT&T Connected Cam. That is with authority there, and it's 81-74 Pistons. Somebody else waiting on the Pistons, or for the Raptors, as I said, trying to get in. So we're halfway through the fourth quarter. Ingram for 3. No good. Harris with the rebound. Ivy for 3. No good, but Jalen Duren gets the offensive rebound and a put in. It's a 9-point lead for the Pistons. .5:35 to play in the fourth. DeMar DeRozan back over to Brandon Ingram. Ingram coming through. There's Ingram, and that is no good. Thompson will get the rebound. When this game is over with, we are not over with yet. We got player stats, and then we're going to go look over the injury list for all 16 playoff teams, and then we'll have our sign-off, which I'm probably going to skip through a lot of teams, so you're not going to hear me. You're going to see it's going to probably be a quicker injury report, even though I'm going to have to shuffle through all 30 teams. As you see, DeRozan misses that one, but I'm only going to announce the 16 playoff teams that are in there. And the injury report will be, as you see, there's a bucket right there. It's an 11-point lead for the Pistons, their largest of the game. 4.5 to play in the fourth. Could this be the end for the Raptors? See DeRozan here, 5 on the shot clock. DeMar with it. DeRozan, no good. Thompson with the rebound. Back over to Harris, over to Duren. Cunningham for 3. No good. Mogwell with the rebound. Over to Ingram. Ingram with the layup. That's in there. 85-76. 3:35 to play in the fourth. Over to Thompson. Thompson with the dunk. Asar Thompson putting the Pistons up by 11 again. Over to Brandon Ingram. Ingram. No good. Cunningham with the rebound here. Final 180 to play in the fourth. Harris stealing it over to Duren. Back over to Thompson. Feeds it to Cunningham. 10 on the shot clock. Cunningham for three. That's in there. It's a 14-point lead, and the Pistons and the fans feel it. Timeout, Raptors. 2:39 to play in the fourth. 90-76. We're going to take a timeout. Look at that, substitutions out on the court here. Pirtle coming back into the game. So I believe that is the starting five out on the court for the Detroit Pistons. Or for the Toronto Raptors, as I said. Pirtle will inbound it to DeRozan. DeRozan coming around. That is no good. Thompson with the rebound. Cunningham with it. So we're under 2.5 to play in the fourth. 90-76, the Pistons on top. Over to Ausar Thompson. Thompson to Cunningham here. 7 on the shot clock. Cunningham dishes it over, and that's going to be stolen by Brandon Ingram. Two minutes remaining in the fourth. To DeRozan. DeRozan. That shot is up, is good. It's a 12-point game. The Pistons just holding on right now. They didn't get by 12. They led by as many as 14. That has been their largest lead of the game. Cunningham over to Duren. Jalen Duren with the slam dunk, and it's back to a 14-point lead again. 20 points for Jalen Duren. He might have a double-double, but I don't think he's going to have like a 20-20 game. I'll be surprised when we look at the stats here. DeRozan, no good. Duren with the rebound. He could have, I think, a double-double at least. He had a double-double early in the first quarter in the game against the Heat. As I said, he had 18 points and 21 rebounds. So he's good enough to get a 15-20 game. He exceeded that. Ivy for three. That is no good. Scotty Barnes with the rebound. And it's almost academic here as Barnes for three. At least the Raptors will reach 80. Cunningham coming around. Dish it over to Thompson. They just might be just playing keep away. Harris back to Thompson. Over to Cunningham. 4 on the shot clock. Over to Thompson. Thompson for three. No good. DeRozan with the rebound. Shot clock is still on. Over to Barnes. Over to Grady Dick for three. That's in there. It's an 8-point game. Do they even attempt a foul? I don't think they're going to attempt a foul, and I think that's just going to do it here. Congratulations to the Detroit Pistons. They are going to move on to New York as the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, taking on the top seeded Knicks. Congratulations to the Pistons. You're going to the NBA playoffs. They defeat the Raptors 92-84, sending the Raptors to a long off season. And stay tuned. We are not done yet. We still have to see the player of the game as well as going through the stats, injury report, and then my sign-off. It's time to look at the post-game player statistics, starting off with the victorious Detroit Pistons. Jaden Ivey with 27 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists. Cade Cunningham, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Jalen Duren, 20 points, 16 rebounds. As I said, he didn't get 20-20, but he definitely got a double-double. Came close to it, though, with his 20 points, 16 rebounds, and 1 assist. Tobias Harris, 8 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Isaiah Stewart, 7 points, 6 rebounds. Then you got Ausar Thompson, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block, followed by Duncan Robinson. Only had 2 points, but he had 1 rebound, 2 assists, and a steal. Ron Holland only had 2 rebounds, Paul Reed, a rebound, 2 assists, followed by Marcus Saucer, 2 assists. Then we got Javonte Green, Bobby Clipman, Chaz Lanier did not play for the Pistons. And now looking at the Raptors for the final time in the season playthrough. DeMar DeRozan led all scorers with 32.6 rebounds, 4 assists, followed by Brandon Ingram with 12.7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Scotty Barnes only had 8.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. Grady Dick with 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Jonathan Mogba with 8.4 rebounds and 1 assist. Jakob Poeltl, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Ochai Agbaji, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Adrian Lawson had 3 points, 1 rebound, and an assist. Followed by Colin Murray Boyles with 2 points and 2 rebounds. Jacoby Walter, 4 points and 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Then we got Jamison Battle. Garrett Temple did not play for the Toronto Raptors. And that will do it for your post-game player statistics. It's now time to look at the injury reports, and we're only looking at the injury reports, going through the players of the teams that are in the NBA playoffs. We have, for the Bucks, Amir Coffey and Gary Trent Jr. on the list. For the Chicago Bulls, it's Chris Paul, who just recently announced his retirement in real life. Nothing to report for the Cavaliers and the Celtics. It doesn't really matter. For the Clippers, we have Jevon Carter recovering, pinch nerve in the back. And the good news is Ivica Zubac is actually back in the lineup for the Clippers to start off the NBA playoffs. Hawks are fully healthy. The Heat, of course, we have Rozier with the suspension. Jovic and Hero are out as well. And let's look at the Knicks. They're still without OG Anunoby for 1 to 2 weeks. If the Knicks get past the first round or maybe have an extended series, he could probably return. Austin Reeves out still another 4 to 6 weeks for the Lakers. Anthony Black has the hurt designation. We might probably see him in the first couple of games of the... We'll see him still play because 2K likes to override that one. And for the Dallas Mavericks, they're still without PJ Washington and Cooper Flagg, but Najee Marshall has that hurt designation. Nuggets are fully healthy. The Pacers, of course, we know they're without Halliburton, and Isaiah Jackson is hurt as a hurt designation. For the Pistons, just clinched the playoff spot. Karis LeVert still out 4 to 6 weeks. And as I said, Saucer, he played in this game even with the hurt designation. The Raptors, it does not matter anymore. For the Rockets, Van Vliet, we knew about his injury. And Jabari Smith Jr. still has that hurt designation. For the Spurs, who got the 8th seed earlier today, Dylan Harper still out for the season, and Kelly Olynyk still out 1 to 2 weeks. If this is an extended series against the Clippers, he could possibly return in that series. The Phoenix Suns are eliminated, so we don't have to worry about them. The Oklahoma City Thunder are still without Aaron Wiggins for 4 to 6 weeks. Timberwolves are fully healthy. And that is it for your injury report for the 16 playoff teams. Now time to look at the NBA playoff bracket here. We start off with the Western Conference here. We got the number 1 seed, the Los Angeles Clippers, who actually have the league's best record. They'll play the 8th seed at San Antonio Spurs. The 4th seed Minnesota Timberwolves take on the 5th seeded Los Angeles Lakers. The number 3 seed, the Houston Rockets, will take on the number 6 seed, the Denver Nuggets. The number 2 seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder, against the 7th seed, Dallas Mavericks. And up here we have the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, the New York Knicks. They'll take on the number 8 seed, Detroit Pistons, in a game that we just saw the Pistons winning. The 4-5 match will be the 4 seed Milwaukee Bucks against the 5th seeded Indiana Pacers. While we had the number 3 seed Chicago Bulls against the number 6 seeded Orlando Magic. And then we have the number 2 seed Atlanta Hawks taking on the number 7 seed Miami Heat. Those are your playoff matches. And look at my... and then coming up, I think tomorrow around noon Eastern will be my... will be the actual full schedule, but I definitely can tell you right now, looking at how things are, we are going to start off on Wednesday with the Eastern Conference Quarterfinal match featuring Game 1 of the Orlando Magic and the Chicago Bulls at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the number 4 seed Milwaukee Bucks hosting the number 5 seed in game 1 of that Eastern Conference Quarterfinal series. I will look at my community tab down below. I will have all the upload schedule for Wednesday through Sunday. That will be out tomorrow at, I think, noon Eastern, which will be President's Day. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are new to this channel. And also hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. As well as I mentioned earlier that if you want to help me donate monetarily or financially, there is the link to my Cash App in the description down below. You are not required to donate to enjoy my content, because just subscribing and watching my content is support enough. But if you just feel like you're inclined to even just give me a small donation, hey, I do appreciate that as well. And with that, reminding you guys now the final score of the game. The Detroit Pistons, of course, clinching the number 8 seed with a 92-84 win over the Toronto Raptors. I hope you guys had a great long weekend. Enjoy whatever left of your long weekend here in the U.S. And until then, I am Vinny from Vita Productions, and I am signing off.